Well, hello everyone. I am going to give this a shot and see if this is of interest to you. But today I'm going to be working on Melissie Ann Smith, and hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to pick up where I left off last time. Honestly, I haven't looked at this in a while, and so I'm going to drill into her profile and take a look and see what we have. And I'm going to just kind of walk you through unedited video here just to show you how I go about researching. So, as always, I keep research notes. Are they perfect? No, but here we are. So, this is, in case you're new to research notes, I keep everything in chronological order, starting with the date and what the item is, whatever the record is in bold. And so, also with a title and with footnotes. So, yeah, anyway, so somebody asked me the other day if I ever put the birth of children or other family members, absolutely, at least a one-liner in there, especially if I think it's going to be important, and especially if it's somebody I'm stuck on. You kind of want to do everything you can. So she was born in 1883. And I think when I left off last, I have all of, I don't know, let's double check. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to her profile here. Let's see if I can get this to snap. All right, so what I typically do is I go from top to bottom. All right, so I got the 1900 census in there. There's some 1903 information about her daughter, 1905 information about the death of daughter Fanny Booth. We've got the 1910 census, which should be next. Okay, that's already in there. 1920 is in there. 1930s in there. There's nothing spectacular that I'm doing here. I'm just double checking because I like to work through everything I can. 1940, okay, and 1950 is missing. So it looks like I left off with 1950. In 1935, she was living in the same place. Now, the 1940 census, oh, it is in here. Yeah, 1940 census asked the question, were you living in the same place in 1935? So that's one of the reasons why I noted that here. In fact, sometimes I will put a 1935 entry here saying she was living in the same place because we want to be able to keep a good timeline of what's going on. So for now, I'm just going to leave that the way it is. I highlighted that. She's living in Mingo Junction. The whole idea with research notes for me is just to be able to, how can I explain this? It's a way for me to glance at it without having to read every little detail over again. And so the next thing I want to do is I want to put an entry in here for the 1950 census because, yeah, she dies in 1952, it looks like. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say 1950 U.S. Census. And I usually put a hyphen in there. And then what I'm going to do is bold that. All right, so now let's open this up. And we're going to open this up all the way. And I'm going to close this just so we can see this a little bit better. There's more to discover. Okay, I believe you. All right, so first of all, one of the things that we want to do, I'm going to open up Site Builder, one of my new favorite places to go. I have the premium version. This is a place where I can quickly create, what am I trying to say? I can quickly create, let me pull this over here so I can log in real quick. Source citations. So I'm logging in on the other screen, so please stand by. All right, so here is Site Builder. And let me get back here to where I can grab this. Come on, come down. My screen is, I'm trying to do everything on one screen so that you can see what I'm doing. Whoops. That didn't work. Hang on, let me hit escape so I can pull this down. Oh, I think what it's doing is it's going up to the other screen. It is. Hang on, bear with me. There we go. Now I've got it. Now I can grab it and stick it in here. All right. So here on Site Builder, if we open this up, you can see that we can go to, I've already pre-populated a bunch of them. I don't think I have the 1950 census in here. So what we do is we go to Census Records. I'm going to go to the United States, Federal Population. Where's 1950? Right here. That was 1950, right? Yes. So now I can say, all right, let's first of all find her in here and make sure she's actually on this page, which I believe she probably is. Maybe she's not. Let's see. Hang on. Did I miss her? There she is. Melissie Booth. Okay. Head of household. She's 67-year-old widow. All right. She's working in a grocery store. She works 72 hours. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the source information first. So some of that source information is going to be over here, okay? And so I'm going to go over here to Site Builder, and I'm going to say, what county is this? This is Jefferson County, Mingo Township, Ohio. So we're going to go Jefferson, Ohio. OH, Mingo Junction. Oops, might help if I spell it correctly. The person's name is Melissie Smith. She is still Smith in this, right? Let me double check. Oh, she's Booth here, I think, because so her maiden name was Smith, but she had married Booth. There she is. So she's Booth. So I need to change that to Booth, because we always want to cite what is actually in the record. Okay. So the enumeration district's going to be over here. Let's see. Oh, well, we can find it at the top too. It says enumeration district right here. 41-121. I'm going to go Control-C to copy. I am going to go Control-V to paste. This is sheet number 17 right there. Okay. 17. Household number. So you got to watch these columns, okay? I don't need this down here, by the way. What I would like to have is this, because sometimes this helps. Household number is 307. 307. Line number. Let's see, where are you? Line number 15. And the website title is Ancestry. Website author. Well, let's see. How do we want to do this? Website title is the same thing as the website author. Kind of. Well, not exactly, because if you go over here, with National Archives is the original. So I'm going to say the author is Nara. And the URL is going to be https://www.ancestry.com. Why we do that, I don't know, but I don't know why. Honestly, all of this is unnecessary in my opinion, but that's just me. We hit please build. We copy. This is the new way of doing this. It's much faster. So I can then put that source citation in here when I'm ready. But what I want to do first is I want to go back over here and I want to read everything in here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to this screen here. Please stand by. part of the problem is I have too many screens open. I have like 4 screens here, so what I was trying to do, there we go. And now I want to get the research notes back up, because what I'm going to do is I might voice track this if my microphone will allow it. Alright, let me see if we can do this. We'll give it a try. I might have to go over here first. Go to Home. And now, will the dictate button still stay there? Let's see. Yes, no, yes, okay. Put my cursor in here, and I'm going to say dictate. Melissie Smith is the head of household. She is white, comma, female, comma, 67 years old, comma, widowed, comma, born in West Virginia. Melissie Smith, head of household. She is white, female, 67 years old, widow. Okay, so it worked. All right, so my eyes were over here and I wasn't paying attention to what was being put in there. All right, so one of the things I want to do is I want to see what this says up here. What was this person doing most of last week? Working, keeping house, or something else? All right, so let's go back to her line. Make sure I'm on her line. She was line, I think, 15? Yeah. So here we have, she was working. And let's just double check this before we dictate what was in there. If working, item 15, or yes, item 16, how many hours did this person work last week, including unpaid work on family or farm or business? Okay, so I'm going to go back to line 15. Bear with me. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm going to finish this. She was working 72 hours last week as a grocer at a grocery store. Okay, that worked. All right, so now, this is because I'm too lazy to type, you guys. All right, let us see. Private employer, government, in owned business without pay on family farm or business. So O is owned business, and I thought it was an O there. Sure enough. What is this to? I missed this over here. Is this a house or a farm or a ranch? Is this house on a place of 3 or more acres? So no. All right, so we need to make note of that as well. All right, hang on one second. Please stand by. Melissie Smith is head of household. I'm going to put this in here. Double check what I'm doing here. This is a house or a farm. Is this house on a farm? I should read that better. Is this house on a place of 3 or more acres? All right. Well, it would help if this said 1950 instead of, yeah, I wonder how many of you caught that. Okay. I'm going to insert right here. This was not a farm, and it was not on 3 or more acres. You can write that however you want, but I'm abstracting this information out of here. Why do we do this? It's so we pay attention to the details. All right, so I'm going to put a space in here. And then over here, I'm going to take a quick sip of water. Okay, we were about to do this owned. It appears she owned the grocery store. It worked. Okay, what is all this number? Leave blank. These are codes for the enumerators. So for now, this is nothing. So just FYI, we'll go to that later. So had she been down a couple more lines, these are the supplemental questions. This is the house next door. She looks like she was living alone. So, oh, and this is on Western Avenue and maybe Orchid. It looks like this is Western Avenue. Her residence was listed on Western Avenue. In fact, I think it's safe to say house, serial number, this, I'm thinking that that might actually be her address, 307. Okay, so that entry is in there. Looks like there's some grammar that was automatically put in. When you dictate and you pause in Word, I'm going to hit save. Save early, save often. When you pause, sometimes it'll put a period in there if you have automatic grammar turned on, automatic punctuation turned on. Okay, let's see. What else can we do here? One of the things we want to look for is see if there's any other booths living nearby. So let's maximize this for a second. And we're going to open this up just for grins and giggles. And we're going to, so here she is here, okay? She's living alone, apparently. We're going to go back a page. Now, I don't really have a need to go and extract pages and pages of this stuff, but had I wanted to do that, I would have gone and extracted all this stuff, which is a whole other strategy. All right, I don't see anything there, so I'm going to go forward 2 pages. So I'm going forward to 1. Wait for it. This is the one she's on. I'm going to go 1 more. So right now I'm just going 1 page in either direction just to see if there are any other booths or any other family names living nearby. And it's taking its time to load. All right. All right, so we're good there. So, had she landed on one of these supplemental questions, you would have had additional information down here, okay? All right, so I'm done with that, and what I want to do is I want to go back over here, and I want to copy this source citation that I had created for this. I want to come in here, and I am going to maximize this. I'm going to references, insert footnote, and I'm going to go Control V to paste. Now, there was extra spaces here, so I'm just going to get rid of those. And I usually like to set this at 10, and it is. Okay, good. So, we're good. Moving on. Control save, Control S to save. And now, what I want to do is I want to go back, whoops. I want to go back to her profile. We've got the 1950 census, Ohio births and christenings. Now let me double check to see if I have this in here. This looks like it's just an index. FHL number. Alright, so let's see if I already have this record in there. So this is naming her spouse as Ollie Booth and her child. So this is probably an entry for Bessie Booth. Let's double check. I'm going to open this one in a new tab so I can keep track. So what I typically do is I will keep my tree. I'm going to open in a new tab. I will keep my tree on the far left side for reference, then the profile I'm working on in the next tab, and then whatever research I'm working on. Okay, so all right, sip of water. See, you're getting this all unedited. This is exactly the way I usually do research. Okay. So we're going to go investigate this record to see if there's any more to it, but I want to make sure that I don't already have it in my research notes. So I'm going to pull my research notes up, and this was Bessie Smith, And did I note up here, I did note a daughter being born. Bessie Smith. All right, so I already have that one in there. So I'm going to move on to whatever the next record is, Ohio. So let me just tell you real quick though, had I decided to go chase that FHL number, I go over to FamilySearch and look for that FHL number and find that record. And you know, I may or may not have already done that. So let's go over and sign in real quick. Sure, let's go with that. All right, so we're going to go search, records, more options, family group number. Whoops, I goofed. I didn't copy the FHL number. I thought I did. Control C to copy, group number, Control V to paste, search. So the only downside to this is you either have to scroll through the whole thing or you have to come over here and go Melissie. Is she 2 L's? I think she is. And I think this was Booth. Let's just see what we get. Yep, no, Benjamin Booth. Benjamin Booth is in the family. It's just that we were looking for Melissie Ann Smith and Oliver Booth. Might want to look at that a little bit. I'm pretty sure I already have this information though. But what we could do, no, I want to find out what this, I want to see this record. So let's go Bessie and search that one. There we go. Yeah, so I had put too many L's in there on Melissie. So let's view this record. So this means it's in the tree. This means it's got a image, and this means that it has more details. I want to see the image always. So I'm going to right click, open in a new tab, and now I'm going to go and look at this record. And so if you'll notice over here on Ancestry, this is all they had. So this is why you want to use FamilySearch and Ancestry together. So I'm going to try and scroll in here and take a look. I'm trying to get this to move with me. All right, here it is. Bessie Booth. She was born 1903, November 11th. And Ohio, Jefferson County. Mingo Junction is what that means. She's listed as female. Always go to the right page. Father is Oliver Booth. Mother is Melissie Smith. Residence Mingo Junction. Okay, this is awesome. So we have a record here that we could then download if we want to. We could attach to the tree. Interesting. It's not already attached. I am surprised. Please stand by. Let's go see. Let's go family tree. I'm going to open that in a new tab. Talk about rabbit holes. All right, so now we're on FamilySearch. Oh, I wish this would go away. All right, so now we're on FamilySearch and we're looking for Melissie Smith. And we want to go to her person. And we're going to go down and see the children. There's Bessie, so we're going to look at Bessie. All right, and sources. Wait for it. So it looks to me like it's already here. It is. It's already here. So they were fooling with me. I'm going to close that. And what I could do if I wanted to. Oh, this is the wrong record. See? Now I got so many tabs open I get lost, right? Let's just zoom in and see what we're looking at here. It's being slow. Sorry. Booth. Am I missing it? somehow I'm missing it. You guys probably see it. You're probably screaming at your TV going, it's online, whatever. And actually, I'm running down this rabbit hole I don't need to go down, so I might just bail out of this. I'm not seeing it. This was possible, right? Okay, I'm just going to bail out of this because I don't need this record anyway. This was the one that was of interest. So if we wanted to, we could download that image, and it goes into my download folder. And then I would go over to my download folder, say downloads. I'm just going to grab it and drag it to my desktop for a moment so that you can see what I'm doing. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my file folders, if I can find them wherever they are hiding. Please stand by. So now in my little genealogy archives, I go to Booth. I go to Bessie if she's in here. She is. Do I already have this record in here? I do not. Wait for it. Oh, I didn't want to open that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this image in here. And this is a record of birth. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to say, and I'm breaking my own thing here. I was noticing some of these are not named properly. Bessie birth registry. I think it was 1903. And I'm going to leave it at that. And then next time I go to work up her Bessie Booth's profile, then I will have some of this information here. So I'm going to close out of that. That was 1903, yes. So one thing I forgot to do, let me go back here for a second. Go back to archives, we go back to Booth, we go back to Bessie. I'm going to say, I'm going to rename this, and I forgot to put on here, found on FamilySearch, FamilySearch, and then now I have at least some source information as to where it came from. And if I had, clearly I have not worked, she's like an offshoot, it's not a direct line ancestor, so I may never create research notes for her unless I have a need to. But if I did, I would like go in right away and put a source citation in as to where I found this with that FHL number. Remember, we went down this rabbit hole because we found an FHL number somewhere in one of these records. Here it is. So we found this FHL number. And so, long story short, I believe this was already part of her record. And so I don't need to do any more with this. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to leave this open just so I don't have to log in again. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to close this because I don't need this anymore. We're really, our focus is Melissie Ann Smith. So we were looking at those birth registries. Now we're going on to this marriage registry. I'm going to right click, open in a new tab. Where is it? It's not going to let me do it because I have to view it first. Now I can right click and open in a new tab. Alright, so this is a county marriage record, again an FHL number. Copy. Now go over here. So in case you didn't realize, Ancestry and FamilySearch have an agreement to share some microfilm so that they both aren't expending money microfilming things that the other one has already microfilmed. I'm getting a sip of water. Okay, so now we have a marriage record. Notice the difference in spelling of the name. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I already have this marriage record, so let's go look. Let's go Booth. Oh, she was actually, she's under Smith, by the way, in my records, because that is her birth name, Melissie Ann Smith. And what do I have here? That's a registry of birth. This is a death certificate, sale of land. And so I don't even need to open that because my description tells me enough that I don't need to open it. I've already got this document open, so I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to come back over to my notes. And what year are we in? This is a marriage. So we want to go find this because there's no image here on Ancestry. So again, we go over to FamilySearch, go to Records. I'm going to hit More Options. I'm going to say Image Film Number, Control V to paste, Search. And now we're in the record, the microfilm, if you will, but it's organized as an index. And I want to make sure that I get the name spelled right because we got Ollie Booth and Melissie Smith. So I'm copying that. I'm coming back over here and I'm pasting that. Smith. I'm going to come down here to spouse and Ollie Booth. This will just help with the search so that I don't have 19,000 things to go through and I only have 2. So it looks like, so we have the mother of the groom and the mother of the bride in this situation. So whatever this record was, LZL Booth, which is my grandfather, this is his marriage to his first wife, Julia. So, mother of the bride, mother of the groom. So this is, and here's Elsie. So this is the record that we're seeing over on Ancestry, okay? Because it's got Elsie in here. Okay, so we can go look at this. Quite frankly, I already have this information in his record, but now we can see that we have the marriage license, all of the information here. And so what I'm going to do, and the cool part about FamilySearch is they have awesome source citations. So all I have to do, if I can find it here, it's not showing here. Usually there's a more information button at the bottom. So what I can do here is I can just make a comment in my research notes that LZL Booth married Julia Fall on the 28th of March, 1923. So this is the application, and this is the return down here where it says, oh, 28th of May, 1923. Yeah. All right, 28th of May, 1923. So then we go back over to my research notes, and I come down to 1923 and see 1920, 1930. So I'm going to put an insert in here. What was it? The 23rd of May, 1923. Son LZL Booth marries Julia Fall. And let's just put where that happened. I believe it was in, wait for it, I'm looking for it, Mingo Junction. Oh no, that's residents of Mingo Junction. They got married in Mingo Junction. Okay. At the Minister of the Gospel in Mingo Junction, Ohio. Okay. So back to the research notes. In Mingo Junction, Ohio. This is actually Jefferson County. I just happen to know that. Okay. And then I want to put a source citation with that. So I'm going to highlight that in bold. Son LZ Booth marries Julia Fall. That's what the subject is. And so now I want to see if I can figure out a way to get that source citation without having to type it all. Usually there is a box down here. You guys are probably going, where is it? You know it's here. They usually have a an information box down at the bottom. Let's try this. Oh wait, maybe it's over here. Group data, no. They must have moved it because it used to be at the bottom. Nope, that's not what I want. I want to go back. Alright, is this the file here? Bear with me, see, it takes me a while too. Now I'm in the wrong place. I'm totally in the wrong place. I didn't see because I wasn't paying attention to the image number. I want to go back to where I was. And so, alright, so this is what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to have to go back and search that record set again, because I don't know which record number it was. I didn't pay attention. See, this is real life research here. All right, let's go back. Here we go. Is that it? Nope. Let's go back again. There we go. I was hoping it would give me the cheater's way of doing a source citation, but I don't see it here. And it might be because of the way I pulled it up. So here we are, image 156. Not that I need that for source citation, but let's go over here. We're going to say, I'm going to go back to the top level. I'm going to go premium because that's where I am. Alright, so this is a marriage registry. Let's see if I get the right one. So I have the ability to search marriage. So if you have the premium version, you can search. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a marriage license. Let's try that. Marriage license search. Alright, marriage. You may have to fudge it a little bit. Marriage certificate owned. No, this is a marriage registry technically, I guess. Marriage certificate. Marriage. So, okay. I think this is what we want. All right. So this is Ohio. This is going to be, whoops, I'm going to close this because I don't need that one. This is State of Ohio, Jefferson County, Probate Court, okay? So it's looking for this here. Certificate number. What does that say? 10246. 10246. The year was 1923. Whoops. 1923. First person is LZ. L. Booth. Julia. Fall. There wasn't a middle initial for her, was there? No. Okay. So, repository, state vital statistics. Let's see. What is it here? State of Ohio, Jefferson County Probate Court. I think I'm going to have to put probate court again. Because this doesn't say, this is not giving me any source information that it normally does. Alright, so I'm going to just put probate court for now. Again. Might help if I can spell. The location is Mingo Junction. Oh, repository location is FamilySearch. website title, https://www.familysearch.org, website creator, family search. Oh, because I goofed. Control C, Control V, website title, family search. Sometimes you have to play with these. These are all different. Website creator or owner. It's going to be family search again. I'm going to click today. I'm going to say, you could save it as a template if you're a premium member. I'm going to build the citation, and I'm going to copy, and now I can paste it into this reference. Where did it go? Here we go. So I go references, insert footnote, paste it in. I'm going to get rid of the extra space, and I'm going to Control S to save, because I save after every time I type something. Okie dokie. Now what? Back over to, I can close this now. I don't need this. I'm going to keep that open. We've already saved this. Yes, this is already in her list. So what you can see here is basically what I'm doing is I'm going through and adding all of these records to her research notes, basically gathering everything I already have and adding all of that information to her research notes. Then the next thing I would do is go, okay, am I missing anything? And if so, I would go and I'd put it in red on here. And I should have grabbed her ID while I was there. Let me do that real quick. But I would create a kind of a research plan on anything that I was missing. So hang on a second. I need to go and log in again because I forgot to do that. I forgot to leave one of my family search windows open. And so now I am back on the home page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Family Tree, and I'm going to open her. Actually, I don't even think I need to do that. A single click, I can copy her number here, right? So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to add that to her research notes. So Family Search, ID, Control V, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go one step further, and I am going to, where did it go, Connie? Here we go, back on Family Search, dismiss that. I'm going to go to the person. I'm going to grab the URL, Control C to copy. If you'll notice, the ID number is the same as it is right here, okay? And then I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to go back to my research notes, and I'm going to hyperlink this. I'm going to right click, link, Control V to paste that URL, and now I have a quick link in my research notes for both of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working through this, and then next time I may see if there's any more to do here, and if there is, otherwise I will pick up the family tree with someone new, but I don't want to bore you with every little detail of of this, but you're getting the idea of how I do research. So if there's anything spectacular about her, I will come back and do another video on her, and I'm going to keep kind of working back. I'm trying to work. So my mom was adopted, so there's a lot that we don't know about this side of the family, and so some of this was just kind of like a quick and dirty import of information, and now I'm going through and really doing the heavy lifting of making sure that I've got these links proper. I know these are right. I just haven't done all the research notes on these, so that's what I'm doing. So with that, I'm gonna move on, and we'll catch you in the next episode.